Today we're at Trader Joe's and it's day one of my journey to find a new hobby. Last year I retired from sewing. I have all this extra time on my hand. So I always wanted to try different things and experience different activities. So I always wanted to try my hand at floral arrangement. So we're going to go into Trader Joe's, pick out some fresh flowers, and put together a floral arrangement. I don't know a lot about flowers, but I know maybe your main flowers, like I think these are orchids and daisies and arrangement of different flowers. So I'm just going to pick up some things that I'm attracted to, that catches my eye, and see how they go from there. Some fresh flowers picked out for my arrangement, and I tried to choose some colors that represents fall or autumn. So I chose some burnt orange colors, some beautiful greens, a pop of white, and some fillers with this golden yellow color. And I also want to use or bring in some of these ones over here that also represents the colors of my arrangement. So I'm going to pick up a few of these and find something to do with them. But I just wanted to bring it all together and make it work. Okay, so now I have all of my materials together. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and prep my flowers by removing the green stems or the leaves from the flowers, because after doing some research I found out that if you do not remove the leaves, it can cause the water to turn green. And since I'm using a glass vase, I want the water to stay clear with these flowers. So once I go ahead and remove all the the leaves from the stems of the flowers, I will return. Okay. So I have prepped my flowers and now I'm ready to start making my arrangements. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a grid. I saw this tip on a few videos of the vase. I make a grid on the vase to actually hold the flowers in place. I'm just using some clear tape to make this grid. And of course you can use foam, a special type of foam that's made for flower arrangements, or tape. But since I'm using a clear vase, I'm going to go with the grid method. I'm finished taping it. I use 3 rows that way and 3 rows that way. So I'm going to see if I can kind of show you if that is picking up on camera on how I did the grid method. And so I think I want the green flowers to be my focal point. So I'm just going to start just placing them and cutting the stem at the right level. And I'm cutting them at an angle. When I cut the stem at an angle. Oh, I actually forgot a step. I meant to put my floor preserver in to keep them fresh and help them last longer. So let me see if I can squeeze it in between these grids. need to cut this a little bit more. So I'm going to start filling them in with some of the other flowers. You know, I have to get the name of the flowers for y'all. I have them on the package, so I will leave them in the description if I can, or somehow include them. Okay, so this is more challenging than it looks with placing the flowers. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm starting this process over again. Not giving up, just starting over. A little more challenging than I thought, so I'm going to rearrange them a little differently. And I also redid my grid, but I redid it the same way. And I left out the preservative this time because it turned the water cloudy, and I don't know why. I have to do a little more research and find out why it turned the water cloudy like that, or is this just supposed to be like that? You know, when I imagine a floral arrangement, I imagine in a clear, you know, pretty water, clear water, and a nice big floral arrangement on top. But if you have some tips on how to use the preservative without the water turning cloudy, please let me know. So, okay, and I also got the names of the flowers. Like I said, these are the hydrangeas. And these are moms, the orange ones, and one of them is called Craspedia. So those are the ones I'm working with today. So this time I think I'm gonna do something different and start off maybe with the white in the middle and see where that takes us. Okay. It's so funny because I remember when I first learned how to sew, oh my gosh, it took me so many times before I actually learned how to even thread a machine. But I was patient the process and continued to practice, and that's how I got so good at it. You know, I just never gave up. I would just, you know, try different things and see what works for me. And that's how you continue to grow and continue to get better at whatever it is you're doing. You just got to keep at it. So this is my first arrangement. Not that it's going to be perfect. I want it to be perfect, of course, but you know, I'm going to give it a second try and see how I can rearrange them to be better. Okay. And it's so funny because when I first started sewing, I know some of the things I used to make wasn't like up to par, but I wore it anyways because I was so proud that I had made it that I didn't care if it was crooked or it wasn't the best, or you know, I just wore it because it was mine. It was my creation that I created, and I loved it either way. And I continued like that. I was the only person wearing my clothes, I want to say, for the first year and a half, 2 years maybe. I'm just not going to use that one for now. And then the job I used to work at, you know, started supporting me, and I used to bartend, so they used to have me make shorts, little summer stuff for the girls, all the bartenders and servers. Whenever we have like a concert or something going on, something big going on, because we used to have a lot of concerts. And that, that kind of got me started as well, as far as getting my name out there, and promote my business. But for a long time, it's just me. And those stairs eventually turned into, questions like, where did you get that? How, where did you buy that outfit, or where did you buy those pants and stuff like that? So I'm just saying all this to say, never give up. And it may not be perfect the first time you try something, the first year you try something, but if you know that's for you and that's what you want to do, then you keep going, and you keep at it, and eventually you're just going to get better and better at it. So this is looking better than the first time, I guess, but still feel like it's missing some things. I'm not quite sure what. My stems are not the best at the bottom, but it's fine. Okay, that works better for me. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see what else we can do with it. I really need some ideas. I really need to know how to make this look good. Or maybe I should change the vase, but I think I only have smaller vases left. Yeah. Okay, so I've been doing a little practicing, and I found a method that works for me, for me doing my first flower arrangement. Okay, so I did change the vase to a more slender opening, and it's taller. That's easier to work with for beginners. And instead of arranging the flowers in the vase like I was doing before, I started arranging them in my hand so I can, take a look at it, see what looks right, what doesn't look right. And that gave me a better idea of how I want them to look before I put them in a vase. So I arranged this bunch so far in my hand to see how it looks before I drop it in the vase. So I also did not go with the grid method. Since I'm arranging them in my hand, I just put some water in the vase and just pretty much dropping them in the vase like so, which is easier for me. And now I'm going to go ahead and include some fillers, and I'm just dropping these in as I go. Maybe I should cut this a little shorter. But this method works better for me. So I'm just gonna play around with it a little more and see how it goes. And here's the final look with the gourds that I picked out from Trader Joe's. And I found this wicker basket at a thrift store near my home. But yeah, here's the first floor arrangements with real flowers. Not too bad, but can use a lot of improvement. So like I said before, drop any comments that you all have or any tips, suggestions, but stay tuned for more of my journey on finding a hobby that I love.